Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two Drink Minimum, Saudi Arabia's favorite podcast, 3 years running. The man in front of me, the Sharia law of Quebec comedy, legendary, Mike Ward.
I am Mike Ward. You are Pantelis. Our friend drinking tonight
You fucking fiend!
is Poseidon.
That's haram, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. I like breaking all kinds of laws.
Yeah. Most of them sexual.
And we have a special guest tonight.
Lebanese dynamite, Emile Khoury himself joining us. For those of you who don't know Emile, if you speak French, he's got a hit podcast called Sans Commentaire. If you've ever seen
funny
me on tour,
podcast,
Emile's
yeah.
always with me.
Always.
Fucking Emile. He's going to start doing it in English with me too, because he's bilingual.
I love Lebanese dynamite. He baptized me Lebanese
I love
dynamite, and I'm sticking to it.
How good is that? Lebanese
Lebanese
dynamite.
dynamite sounds good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And plausible.
It's not very Lebanese to be a
There's
terrorist.
not.
No, it's
there
not.
aren't
No.
any. Has there ever been a Lebanese terrorist?
There's been every terrorist. There's been Greek terrorists
Yeah.
too, but they're very.
But they're not-
They're like a bunch of Greeks. dude.
that's like saying, oh, that it's a Spanish terrorist. You're
They're-
like,
they're
yeah,
Greek
okay.
guys that
it's just a
speak- that
weird
speak
guy.
Arabic.
Lebanese people are very business driven, and
Yeah.
if you're dead, you can't conduct business, so
Yeah.
it's not very practical. to
It's
know
just
about
a dead guy that found TNT and he's got some anger issues.
Yeah.
He just fucking hates.
But Lebanese dynamite is a
Yeah.
badass
Yeah.
fucking comedian's
Yeah.
nickname.
Because, yeah, a Lebanese terrorist, I'm like, okay, so was, and when he blew up these people, was his wife in the. Yeah, she was one of the victims accidentally.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he wanted to kill all those other people. Okay,
Ah.
that's how it happened.
Okay. And we forgot to mention that our man Poseidon is on a fresh start right now. He's trying not to make any mistakes.
Okay, yeah.
He's trying to lose some weight. He's trying to better himself. Is that
it.
correct?
What are the mistakes that he's trying not to do?
Fuck up the podcast. Fuck up Mike's orders
Mike's
or requests.
everything.
Mike's everything. Mike's life.
Yeah.
And
So he ruined your life.
Fuck. The other night,
Okay, what
I
happened?
had
Let's go into
ED,
detail.
Oh, God.
and I was like, goddamn Poseidon. He fucked up my dick, too.
Where's your
Whoa,
finger
go
when we need it?
go up. So no, we forgot to mention. But yeah, Poseidon is on a weight loss journey.
Yeah.
Wow.
We offered him 5 months ago. He was at
Jogging
285. And we told him, if you lose 50 pounds by New Year, we'll give you $5,000.
Okay.
Which is a
That's a good
$5,000
bad.
is a
Yeah.
very good amount.
50
Yeah.
pounds is a lot of weight, but 50 pounds in like 7-8 months is good.
Is it doable? I've never been on a weight
was
loss
6 months.
journey.
I lost.
For you, it wouldn't be. Like,
Yeah.
if you,
You don't
lost
have the
50
weight.
pounds, you would die at
would
pound
not.
30.
But Poseidon heard
Yeah.
that, and being the fucking rebel that he is, he put on 10 pounds.
Yeah, no.
Exactly what I was going to say. It's probably at 305.
But he said to, because we were like, yeah, okay, so how much you weigh? And he was like 285. So we were like, you got to be down at 235 by New Year. And he was like, I'm going to go down 230.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, 235 is good. 230.
When's the last time you were 235?
Never.
you were after you were born 300 pounds.
Yeah.
I know that he could have done it if he tried, because I was just gonna let him do everything I did to lose it.
But wait, he still has 2 months. It's impossible?
He keeps putting on weight, drinking beer, eating bread.
Well, what weight are you now?
280.
280. So 5 pounds in 5 months. And then the last, they always say the toughest weight to lose is the first 5. And then the last 45 just melts.
just the-
You melt away.
It's the breeze.
If you want to go hardcore Pantelis diet, I don't know if
I'm not gonna attain the.
You could though.
you could, though.
Even like there's enough time if you did no carbs, like zero.
Yeah, do what I
carbs.
did. Go 0 carbs
Yeah.
till January 1st.
All you eat is meat,
yeah,
and that's
greens,
it.
meat, greens.
I wouldn't even do cheese because cheese has like 1 or 2 carbs.
Yeah,
like,
don't do even cheese just for 2 months.
just meat.
Meat and greens.
Yeah, and like not a lot of greens.
Yeah, do everything I did. Meats, greens, no alcohol, a
Wait,
lot
Mike,
of
you're
gay
promoting.
sex.
You're not telling him to go vegan.
Because
Vegan's fattening.
vegan. It's
No, vegan is not fattening. If you go on a whole foods, plant-based, no oil diet, you're going to
But
lose
if-
200 pounds next week.
If you want to lose quick, the only way you lose quick is no carbs. Like no carbs,
Yeah.
you can go from 300 to 200 in 3 months.
That's what I did.
Whereas vegan, like, and I'm a chubby vegan because I like food that tastes like food. But if you do like, I'm gonna do like a plant-based, very natural diet, you will lose weight, but it'll take you like a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it will be stable weight that you
Yeah,
lost.
yeah, yeah. But then when you lose the weight, you'll have loss of weight. Whereas if you lose like 80 pounds in a month, chances are you'll be like fucking 700 pounds in 3 years.
But for real,
Yeah.
it's a good technique because that's what I
Yeah.
used. Is I cut off the carbs and the sugar
Okay.
and started melting off.
Yeah, because
What's your arch nemesis with food? What is it
Bread.
just-
no, his real arch nemesis with food is himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, bread.
It was so funny though, because when the diet first started, he was like, "No, I'm taking this seriously. I'm gonna eat just omelets and blah blah blah." And he was working on the tour, so we'd show up, and in the green room, there'd always be the craft. So there'd be like fucking chips and chocolate, and then
They'd go missing.
Like he doesn't eat anything. I don't eat much. And Preach was working out, so we'd show up, and there'd be a mountain of food. And then we'd come back like after the show, and it was a hill of food.
It went from a
Like
mountain
one
The
place
best
we
is
went
his
to.
the best is his reaction when we're on to him and you would ask that question is I shouldn't say it because now he's gonna stop doing it, but I love his shifty eyes because you could tell that he's thinking of an excuse because Michael comes in like, hey, well, what happened to all the chocolate? And then if I look at him right away, and this is what I see like a cartoon like this.
Yeah, like someone caught him.
It's the funniest fucking thing. Just like, what do I do? Do I jump out the window?
One of the shows we were doing, I was bitching because I was like, and I wasn't gonna eat it anyway. But we're backstage, and I'm like, who the fuck puts one little bag of chocolate covered almonds?
Yeah.
One bag. These motherfuckers.
They should have at least 5, 6. There's so
this
many
is
of us.
This is a nice theater. They know we're coming in. We're a bunch of these what a fuck, these cheap bastards.
While
Then
he's saying this, picture this.
with chocolate.
And
Yeah, there's chocolate
Chocolate on his
stains. He's like,
cheeks.
And then he tells me, he's like, I ate them all. I got here at 3.
Do you shame eat? Like, let's say you were shoving these chocolate covered almonds in your mouth. Were you like, oh fuck, I hope Mike doesn't see that I've eaten half of the packs that are available?
no, he doesn't think it's impulse.
No, yeah, it's 100% impulse.
But during the impulse, there must be some sort of like, let's say if I'm jacking off to something I shouldn't be jacking off
Yeah.
to. There's a certain
What?
Yeah, let's not skip over that for a second.
Sometimes you wanna keep a
Like a
secret.
street crime. Black on black crime is really on the rise.
There's always a split second of clarity throughout the act, as in, like,
Yeah.
is there any shameful eating? Like you're covered with food, you stare at yourself in the mirror.
hate
and then
Yes,
myself.
I hate
actually,
myself.
yes.
If
There's,
there was,
but
he'd
then I feel
become
bad.
bulimic. Did you
Whoa.
ever think
No, but
of
then I become-
vomiting?
yeah. No, not really. But then here's the thing: I there is that split second of shame, but then I become sad, and because I become sad, I
You
continue
become
eating.
horny.
He's like, I'm hard and I'm fucking fat. I don't know what to do.
Hard and fat. That's my motto.
Yo, speaking of hard and fat, compared to us who are lunatics, Emile is kind of normal. He's like a real. He's not crazy. He knows what he's doing. When you're with me, when we're on the tour and stuff, do you ever look and you're like, what am I doing? Do you ever stare at me and go, why am I with this guy? Like, does that ever happen to
I
you?
have to say something. It's not
Yeah.
why am I with this guy. We meet creatures like they're the staples of Pantelis comedy shows. It's just I've never seen crowds that diverse.
Okay, let's at
with
least give me a
that
compliment. I
diverse-
have the most diverse crowd.
His
Not
crowd-
racially diverse, mentally insane diverse. As in you see
You
people.
almost feel
Still an honor.
you almost feel that his crowd doesn't go to the show. They crawl out of the
I've
darkness.
never
of the
seen
show.
you see people that
crawl into
I
it.
would have never seen in any other comedy shows. and
Mixed
that's
with other
beautiful.
people. You see a businessman
Yeah.
and what is clearly a homeless person.
a straight who comes up to Pantelis and is like, I bought these tickets 6 months ago. I'm a huge fan of the
I've been
podcast. I'm like,
waiting.
you don't even own a device to be able to stream
Yeah,
the
yeah.
podcast on any platforms.
Yeah,
And this is
the
what I
most
find-
diverse. I
But
have children. There's sometimes young people in the crowd. We're like, what the fuck is going on here?
You know why I think that is? Is because this studio isn't soundproof. So all the homeless people, they hear all this fucking things.
But he always catches it. He's like, this is so weird, bro. Are they
Plus,
here
like-
by accident?
Plus, like, since you do shows with Rashid,
Yeah.
and Rashid's crowd is fucking like mainstream as fuck.
It's
like,
the
you don't
mainstreamest
get-
crowds you
It's
get.
it's the most mainstream crowd ever.
And then he comes and slums it with me.
You're degenerates.
That's what I love about this. So let's say during your shows, there's one thing I did realize about both your interactions.
Yeah.
Other than you getting mad at him every split second for it. First of all, I don't know if he told you. He asks him to get a bottle of water. He goes to the bar at the show during the show. He gets
I forgot about this.
So he's grabbing the bottle and he's walking towards me, and the stage is right here. Poseidon is walking between the bar, and there's maybe 3 meters for him to pass. So there's no problem. He smacks one of the bar chairs in the middle of his set, and it just falls over, resonates throughout the whole show. Pantelis doesn't even bat an eye. And he stops for a split second, stops talking mid-set, just turns around, and the crowd does not understand what's going on, and you just see Poseidon not turning around. So he's back against Pantelis, just waiting for Pantelis to stop staring at him.
This is during my hours.
Why did you smack a bar stool?
Because he was wearing army boots. I don't
Yeah,
know
it
which.
was, by accident.
He walks around
How do you
sometimes.
smack something by accident?
He walks
his
around
foot.
sometimes like a giant octopus with shoes on. But while I'm on stage, and this is during my hour, I just stopped talking. I just fucking dead stare him, and everyone's like, "What's going on?"
Because Pantelis didn't turn around. He's like, it better not be him. And he's like, there's no reason why it wouldn't be him.
Yeah.
And then as he turns around,
It's him.
It's always him.
It's always
there's-
him.
have you ever, did Poseidon or Pantelis ever drive and you're sitting in the back seat?
Yeah, once from New York.
Yeah.
This is one of the most beautiful sightings I've ever experienced in my whole life. They see things. It's like there could be a car 6 kilometers away, and Poseidon would be like, Did this guy break to hit me? And Pantelis was like, I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. And they start pumping each other up. And I'm just sitting in the back. I'm like, we're by ourselves. There's nobody around us. And they see things from the corner of their eyes as if they're two old fucking PTSD soldiers that came back from Vietnam, and they're just everybody's against them. There's one thing with Pantelis. If he was a bit more famous, he'd be canceled now. Just because he at the level, let's say first gig he got in Quebec City, first ever taping, he got in, and I've heard about 16 stories of Pantelis losing his shit. So I'm like, I'm glad it's taking a bit more time for Pantelis to become uber famous in Quebec, because I feel like we wouldn't have anything going on anymore.
You think, yeah, you're like, fuck you. Fuck you. Why does this guy look weird?
Was this guy staring at me? Poseidon's like, hey, he's staring at you. Okay, let's fucking get up. No, okay, nobody's staring at you. He's probably just drunk. It's
Yeah. He's like, you do realize we can't just beat up everybody, right? Like,
We're like gorillas, bro.
you have like shows. People know who you are. You can't hit people with a bar stool. They can't or won't. So it is weird for you.
It's not weird, no. It's,
But you love it.
No, it's fucking sick. You have insane crowds. The shows in Laval were good. Most of them were good.
Most of them were good, yeah.
Your
Bordel's
crowds here,
awesome, yeah.
they're fucking animals. And that's when it's, the ecosystem. People know me from Pantelis' podcast and vice versa.
vice
so when
versa.
he opened for me, people were like, oh, fuck, I saw him on Sans Commentaire. So it's crazy to see what you started is a small ecosystem of people just going on each other's podcasts and lifting. I was in Gatineau. A guy asked me, the guy that drove from Rive Sud to Gatineau. So a guy that listens to the podcast.
Jesse Jelena, shout out.
Jesse Gelina.
Yes.
Lives in La Rive Sud. Drove to Gatineau to see his hour. That's after seeing him at the Bordel. That's
My
after
hour?
seeing him in Laval.
And that's after coming to Just for Laughs to see
Just
my
for
hour.
laughs to see his hours. So I'm like, okay, he has super fans, and that's what's crazy about that is we finish these shows, and at the end he's taking pictures, he's talking to people, and people come up to me, it's like, j'adore quand t'es sur le podcast. So we create this sort of ecosystem that supports each other. So fuck no, man, it's not weird. It's just hilarious to sit back and watch you guys interact.
I love having people that I love seeing people that love a comic enough to drive.
It's fucking
Those
insane.
are the best fans.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
even drive for
Yeah.
Jesus.
Him, by the way, he's seen it 5 times. He's coming to see my hour again now.
Yeah, and he's
You
buying
wouldn't
tickets.
drive for Jesus?
I would think about it. I would be like, but then I'm like, ticket master fees, whatever. It's in New York.
Imagine
it's not
the fuck. Like, oh fuck, we didn't talk about that, but I'm gonna go see the UFC
this
in
is-
Orlando.
Okay.
The fucking Ticketmaster fees, $600 US.
God
In
damn.
The
fees!
ticket master fees.
$300 per ticket.
How much is the ticket?
A lot. Yeah, a lot.
Too much.
Yeah, but it was like I think like something like 2,000 a ticket.
So fuck, you have
Or,
around
no,
35%,
15
40%.
No, less than that. It was like 1,500. Yeah, 1,500. I think with the fees, it came up to like 4,000.
That's not even resellers. That's not even scalpers.
No,
it's
no, no.
straight up
I
ticket
bought
master.
it like the.
And by the way, there's no extra work that comes in if they're processing a ticket. If a ticket costs $10 or
Yeah.
$1,000, it's the same amount of work to process
I got
that ticket.
into a fucking a couple of years ago. I was like when we had just bought the Bordel, our fees here. We charge, I think it's $1.50 or $1.25 in service fees. And the reason why we charge that is because that's what it costs us. And I had a guy, I was doing a show at the Saint Denis Theater, and the service fees there were like $10. So I was like, I do a little thing on YouTube, and I'm like, I'm doing a show, and I'm like, come, tickets are only $30 plus the fucking pieces of shit that charge $10, blah blah blah. But I'm like, look, they did all the work though. Like all I did was write an hour and fucking practice it and get it tight. But these fucking guys, they got a computer, and I just do kind of jokes about the guy. And then the guy comes here like to have a drink, and he goes, hey, sans rancune, like, no, don't worry, I'm not mad. And I'm like, why would you be mad? I said that you were a fucking croissant because I was doing the Saint Denis Theater. It's a 2,000 seater.
Yeah.
So he was making $200,000 that night.
Oh.
And I was fucking like, I wasn't producing the show, so
he's pocketing
like
most
like
of it.
my producers, like, he's making the most money with the service fee. The service fee's making the most. Then the theater rental is making a lot.
The artist is last.
Then my producer. Then so everyone's making money, and I'm selling 2,000 tickets.
God damn.
And I'm making like maybe $8,000, which is good. $8,000 for a
Yeah,
night.
but not
is
if
for a
fucking
sold out
amazing.
Not for a
2,000 seater,
sold at
$30
Saint Denis,
ticket.
yeah.
And if you're like, and someone's making $200,000, and
he's not doing anything.
Yeah. So he goes like, sans rancune. I'm like, no, but I was like, hey, just for real though, like, in the old days, I get service fees when you had to have like fucking people answering the phone. But now there's no one answering the phone. There might be one person, and he goes, no, but it's big. And I'm like, yeah, it's big, but who cares? It's the program. Whether you have fucking 11 people buying tickets or 5,000, it's the same program.
Same thing.
And I'm like, we charge $150. And you guys charge 10. He goes, yeah, but you're a small place. And I was like, exactly. We should charge more.
Yeah.
Like fucking Walmart has cheaper prices
'Cause they're bigger.
than some little fucking mom and cop.
'Cause they sell in bulk, yeah.
Mom and cop shop.
Mom and cop shop.
shop. You know these mom and cop
Mom and
shops?
cock shops.
Black people
Mom
not
and
allowed.
cop shops are the fucking weirdest. But yeah, and it was just bizarre. Like, we talked for like 20 minutes, and he never got that he was a dick.
It's not justified for him.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
justified. It costs him. He's making 20 G's just in service
Yeah,
fees.
and the thing that the people don't realize, and a lot of people go, no, but it's not him, it's Ticketmaster. But the way Ticketmaster works, they give half of it to the theater.
venue,
So, and then the theater, that's why they have, like, each theater has a monopoly. So if I could rent the Saint Denis Theater and go, look, I don't like Ticketmaster, I want to get fucking brown paper tickets, or I want to get
Eventbrite, whatever you want, yeah.
Eventbrite or Admission or whatever. They're like, no, we have a deal with them, so you got to be with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Louis was not able to do the Madison Square Garden because there was something with Live
Yeah.
Nation or whatever.
Really?
And then the guy at the Madison Square Garden ended up making a deal
Yeah.
with him for his upcoming show at
Like
the Garden.
the tour he did before the whole jerking off thing came out, he was the biggest comic by
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
And he was doing like weird, like Masonic halls. Like he was doing, like he wasn't doing the actual room.
No, he was booking
Yeah.
his own
Yeah.
spots. Well, he was good at business, but we think about the same thing because unless I'm here, where it's all done through the Bordel, but when I go out, I use Eventbrite, and I always think about the ticket fees, and I always try to see, the price. Okay, let's
Yeah,
put it this,
always.
and people don't know, but then I'll pay after
Yeah.
for the fees instead of them paying it. I always think about shit like that because, especially because the crowd, what you said, is diverse. I don't know who's coming, so I don't want it to be. Because sometimes it goes crazy because of the ticket fees. You're like, oh, it'll be a $25 ticket, and then somebody's at $32. I don't want it to be $32.
Yeah.
I always tell people like the real price I'm charging because they hide it. Like the service fees a couple of years ago, the companies like airplane companies, airlines were selling tickets. They're like, go to Fort Lauderdale for only $7, and then you were like, oh, that's amazing, and they were like plus 7,000.
Yeah, and processing fees.
So
yeah.
then the government was like, okay, processing and service fees have to be included in the final price.
Okay.
So the Air Canada and fucking JetBlue can't be cunts. But that fucked us. Because in the old days, if it was, hey, come see Mike Ward, it's $30 plus $3 service fees, then people knew exactly what they were paying and who they were paying. But then when they put it all together, now that's when fucking like Ticketmaster went way up.
So then the people don't know.
Yeah.
Is it the artist
So
fucking me
He'll
over? or
say
is
like
it Ticketmaster?
$50 a ticket for Mike Ward, and Mike's like, I'm charging $25. Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's why the beginning of every tour, I always tell people, like even this tour, I think the max we charge is $30 30 or 35.
For
And
the-
the tickets are always like 42 or 48.
For the biggest name in Quebec comedy at
Yeah.
30, like think about that.
Do you get scalpers?
I do, yeah.
It's
Do you know what's
sitting
the
right
maximum? This fuck, I would see him in front of Club Soda tickets.
there. Bro, you need tickets, bro. You need tickets.
With a fake
No,
mustache.
I never look at
How much
the
can do you
price.
got on
They're-
you, bro?
They're never that...
I was curious. What's the highest price someone paid for tickets to your show?
I saw, like, for the Bell Center, I saw tickets on eBay for over 1,000.
oh wow!
But that was historic.
But it
man.
and it was like really good ticket. I actually bought a pair of tickets on eBay because I wanted to give to someone. I wanted good tickets. I paid $1,200
for your own tickets.
for my own tickets.
You're
from
a special human being.
Some fucking piece of garbage.
did you end up making money on that show?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I made like serious money.
yeah.
Like good. Okay.
Yeah, like
It's the Bell Center.
Everyone was telling me, because everyone that had told me about the Bell Center were all Quebec comics, but they did the Bell Center in the 90s or the 2000s.
Or like a 10,000 seats sort of configuration.
Yeah, but even like, yeah, so they were like, hey, you don't make money. And I was like, how many tickets did you sell? I was sold out. Yeah, but how many? 7,000. Okay. And yeah, but what's expensive is you got to rent the room. You got to get this. You got to get this. Plus, it costed like 400,000 or 500,000 in advertising.
Yeah.
And I was like, my advertising was just me on the podcast. So no advertising, no nothing. Like I made 170,000.
God
Jesus
Yeah.
fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is insane, and I wasn't.
And
even
you weren't
the
even
producer.
charging that much.
I wasn't
No.
even. No, I.
He got them to bring down their ticket, the fees lower than it's ever been.
They signed you a check. You were an artist.
I was. My deal was like I wasn't.
That's how much it cost to book
producing
me at the Bell Center.
No, I wasn't producing it. But I got like a co-production type deal. So I had 18,000 to pay everyone. And I
Okay.
was like, look, I'll just pay everyone. And then if you sell this amount of tickets, then we split. And I think like my break even was something like, I don't know, let's say 8,000 or 7,000.
Tickets?
Yeah.
Which
so-
went on, which
Yeah.
got sold in the first
And-
15
and
seconds.
plus, like my tickets, like they were like, let's charge 45 everywhere. But I was like, no, in the cheap seats, I want them at $10 a ticket.
And
Like,
they thought he was
some
crazy.
of them were super cheap, but we ended up selling everything. So and where I made the money, most of the money was my merch. They didn't touch the merch, so I got all the merch.
So Centre Bell doesn't take a percentage off. of it.
Centre Bell took 30%, but just for laughs, didn't take anything.
Okay.
So I got all of that. And then I got a bonus of like 100,000 from the
Signing
split.
bonus, from
So
the split,
I
okay.
got the 18 plus like 102, so it was like 120
Plus the merch.
plus the merch, which was 86,000, but minus their cut was like 50 some
50-ish,
thousand.
so you gross
So it
like
was
around
like it was like
200,000.
100 and like it was like 170 ish
That's
from a
fucking-
night that I was sure I was just gonna break even.
if not lose.
yeah, if
This
not
is what
lose.
you fucking get when
Yeah.
you take your balls into your own fucking hands. C'est incroyable. I fucking
yeah,
love
it's
this.
fucking insane. Like
It's fucking insane.
I made so much fucking money in one
Podcasting
night
in the
doing
arena.
a fucking podcast with shitty sound.
With
in a
shitty
arena.
sound.
But because of him now, if ever someone else wants to do it or he wants to do it at the Bell Center, they know how to do it properly.
And one of the reasons too why I made so much money is to rent all of the equipment that I would have had to pay because I was they paid me to. The 18,000 was to cover everyone on the show. So the way we paid people, it came out to about 18,000. So I wasn't making money. But then I had to split the cost for renting lights and renting a bunch of extra stuff. But since Matt Duff was doing his Netflix special, like since
They just
booked him-
kept everything.
no, they charged Netflix for everything. So Netflix ended up paying for all the lights.
That's fucking
All of the
amazing.
so that saved me like something like 40 or 50,000.
That's
So I
fucking
would have made
amazing.
like 50,000 less.
Okay.
I would have
that's-
still made good
It's
money.
like getting married after your brother is just like, leave everything here, please.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
got
back.
this.
I got this. I'm using it the same venue.
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah.
40, 50 G's.
Yeah.
So when you saw, is it one big check?
No, that's the thing that sucks because there was a fuck up with my finances with Suzekut. The person that was running the advertising stopped running it like about a year ago.
Okay.
And the new person didn't know that my manager Michel takes 20% of everything. So like Michel today was like, yeah, you haven't paid me for Sous-Écoute in like a year.
Baby.
And I was like, oh, God damn it. Oh, fucking Christ. And then I see the number and I'm like, oh, fuck, I owe him so much fucking money. I owe him so much. What am I going to do?
I owe him a full Bell Center. This is what I owe him.
And so he owes me now $5,000.
Okay,
So, but I wanted to get a check. I wanted to have, like, I've never gotten a check for $170,000.
What's the biggest check you've ever gotten?
Biggest check is $120.
That was for
crazy.
a gala, I assume, for Juste pour rire?
No, it was for just my tour. Like, I get paid every.
Okay, so it
every
was one
once in a
check for
while.
multiple
So
shows.
whenever there's more than, that's what I hate about the tour, and this is such a fucking little stupid millionaire bitch. But I like
need to go to the bank multiple times.
no, but
This is the
I like
problem.
when you do a show and they go, and so
that's
you
it.
go, I made 4,000 or I made 200. But now they're just like, I don't know how much I make, and every once in a while they give me a check for 100,000.
And then you're like, what the fuck is this?
And
17,000.
then I look, the 17 or the so it's 115 something because of the taxes.
Okay, 115. That's pretty fucking insane.
Yeah.
Though. 115.
Bro,
That's a big payday.
Yeah.
That's I have a calendar. I have a notes app. On the notes app on my phone, I have a note where I put all my shows and the amount I'm making after each show, just so I can track
Oh, I should do that.
however much I'm doing and how the I see this as a business. To be honest, I see how the business is growing and what we're making from the podcast. It is a business. We're businessmen, so I would find it fucking absurd to just have like 3 shows, $75, 125, a little corporate gig, 900, and then Bell Center, July 25th, 115,000. That's
Like when we started the Bordel, I didn't want to get paid like when I do spots, but then we decided, look, everyone gets paid the same price, whether you're, Louis José or whether. So like. The week that I did the Bell Center, I did one show for 170,000, and I did one show for 125.
What I find fucking
Yeah,
insane.
it's amazing though. It's amazing.
I'm curious because you're the only person. Let's say you and Rashid has been he's been on multiple of my shows, small shows in front of 30 people, 400. He never asks for money, and you've also, I think, came on a show that we produced, and whenever it comes to money, it's always like, of course.
I always give it back to the opening
give it
acts.
back.
Yeah.
Is there some shows that you come expecting to at least have someone tell you like, hey, here's the check, and then you have the courtesy of saying no?
No.
Or you just show up knowing that you're not going to
The thing I love the most though is whenever like, and it wasn't bad. The last English show we did was cool, but the thing I fucking love when I'll do an English show and I'll get someone that'll be like hide money in his hand.
Yeah.
Do the the move like this, but just like I'm the door guy. And then I'll have like. Is this $5? Like, why are you hiding $5?
Yeah, it's not a
By
thousand.
the way, $5 in English show in Montreal
Yeah.
is the profits of the night. If you're able to make $5 in an English, so that's fucking hilarious. Because I always feel awkward. I'm like, sure, how would I approach it? Because let's say you would be booking let's say a headliner of. Let's say I book Pantelis. I don't know Pantelis. I'm like, okay, he's been working in French for 2-3 years. He's able to pull that many tickets. I assume, let's say a 15-minute set, 20-minute set, which I would consider. Let's say X amount, couple $100, and you're like, okay, it's in Montreal. But whenever I book a bigger name, I always feel weird being like, hey, that's 50.
But there, like, I used to always see it, and I still see it that way. Let's say you're doing a bar show, and the show generated, let's say 1,000, and the cut for the comics, let's say, is 800, and or even like a smaller number. Let's say the cut is 400, and there are 4 comics. So if you give everyone $100, I always think $100 won't change anything for me. But if we split my 100 and everyone gets 30 extra for the other 3 guys might be, oh fuck, I can eat a little better this week.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be stressed because I had a thing this week. I was buying a lamp, and not even a lamp, a fucking lampshade, and I used my credit card and it didn't work. And I make good money, so I should just be like, it's your machine. But I was like, fuck, I think my card, I don't have.
This is it.
I don't have credit. They figured me out. I'm poor. I'm poor again.
We got him, boys.
And then the lady, like, it was this young girl and the owner. And then the owner was like, oh, whenever my card's refused, I always think someone stole my identity. And I'm like, I was poor for too long, so I'm always like, okay,
I'm poor again.
I'm poor again.
I don't need this lampshade.
They're like, hey, fuckface, enough with the fucking jets.
Yeah.
Go back to the bus, you fat
You
fuck.
think you're a tough guy with the bell center? Go back to the fucking slums.
I saw that today because I was looking at my phone. I saw the picture of us on the jet, and I had forgotten that we took a private jet, and I was like, "What a fucking year!"
Was this
wild, bro.
absurd?
Oh yeah, that was
Was it like
fucking
booking
insane.
a private jet for you? Like, I know you make money, but it's still.
It's insane.
I felt
It's
like I was gonna
like-
cry when he was doing
You
it.
know what was insane about booking the private jet was the deposit I had to leave on my fucking credit card. Because the guy was like, "Yeah, we just need a and this is U.S. We just need a $27,000 deposit." And I was like,
And
Like,
usually
it's
a deposit,
nothing.
a
Like,
deposit is usually around 20% of the cost
Yeah.
of something. Like,
It's like
it's a-
20
but no, but this was like
It's the jet.
it was the like the deposit is the full price.
okay, so they just freeze
So-
the amount until you guys fly.
But
okay.
I was like, I've never bought something for $27,000.
I don't even know if
on
I'm
a
allowed.
credit card. So I knew I had a black Amex.
So you run Black Amex.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's unlimited or that's.
So Black Amex, they say it's unlimited, but it's not. Because I tried to buy something once that was like way less than that. And let's say
Way less than unlimited.
because it was like it's not even unlimited. It's just you don't have a limit, and you're like, okay, what do you mean? So can I buy
A house?
Dubai? Like if it's if it's unlimited, technically I could buy Dubai. Like I own Dubai now, but for now and then
On
in a
PayPal,
month,
just
in a month I'll get a guy going.
Yeah.
Give me Dubai back. But yeah, so
The
they
Prince
have,
wants his Dubai back.
it's just you don't know what it is. So the first thing I tried to buy, I forget what it was, but it was like 7-8 G's, and I got refused, and I was like, I thought this was unlimited, and then you go on the Amex website and you put your number,
Yeah.
and they have a thing spending power, and then you write an amount, so you go, can I get 50,000, and then they say no. And then you go down
What?
20,000, no, 15,000, yes. So you're like, okay, so I can. So my thing varies, and
That's
I
fucking odd because I
yeah.
mean 7Gs is not a big amount for a
Yeah,
credit
no,
card. Like
it's not. Like,
it's a
I know-
basic credit card.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah. I know. And all of my credit cards are garbage except my Amex.
Yeah,
And since I was like, this is fucking black, so I'm
Just
good.
fucking stuff.
Yeah.
And it worked.
If I had
Yeah.
a Black Amex, I would have it tattooed on my fucking
Yeah.
It
forehead.
worked.
Yeah, and the Amex is fucking. It's
It's a metal card.
It's metal.
It's heavy.
Yeah, like don't choke.
No,
'cause
no,
the
sure.
fucking-
Hold on, I'm cutting away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
wow!
yeah,
Oh, what
yeah.
the fuck!
Yeah, it's a
I have a
weird
bit of a
material.
heart on it right now. That's a
Yeah.
fucking heavy one.
And now, like, I don't know what the limit is, but I know it's more than 27 US. But
That's
I was
fucking insane.
I was so scared.
Yeah, of
'Cause-
course you're just like, hey, yeah, what's the number? 2202.
Yeah.
Like, what's that?
Because and plus, if it doesn't work, like if it's a small amount, you try to buy like a fucking groceries, and they're like, "Oh, this card doesn't work." You're like, "Okay, oh fuck, I got 200, so we'll get rid of the pretzels." We'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
rid-
Exactly.
But now I can't go. Okay, look, here's
We
the
don't
thing."
need both of these engines.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're just, let's say you guys are in this situation where you need a private jet to be able to make it to
Okay,
your
look,
show.
look. No one's ever in a situation where they need a private jet.
I needed it. But the reason why I felt like I needed it is because I'm a man.
I provide for my family. And this is what a man
But
should
it's
do.
because I was, we were in Atlanta to see a fight, and the fight was Friday night, and then we had 2 shows Saturday in Brassard.
Yep.
And the first show was at 4 p.m. So I knew that we were like on Instagram Friday night, drinking champagne in a fucking limo, living our best life. And then when they canceled the fucking Air Canada flight, I was like, even though it's not my fault, it's Air Canada and I can't get tickets anywhere else.
There's like
If-
thousands of people that bought the tickets. They're
if
gonna
I
be like,
write,
"You fucking
yeah,
assholes,
there
we're
are
partying."
2,000 people that bought tickets, and I'll be like, "Look, it's out of my control. I'm a victim. I'm a victim here. I'm a victim."
of
And then they see pictures of me.
There was a
and
Veuve Clicquot attack
Yeah.
yesterday, and this is.
So I was like, okay. And then plus I was thinking, who's gonna fucking call these people? Like, we gotta call 2,000 people to say,
Yeah.
hey, don't show up. And it was a show, 2 shows that had been canceled because of COVID, like
Months, like a
7
year,
months
yeah.
before. So I was like, okay. It's fuck. Even if it's 50,000, it's stupid spending that much. But just to not look like a dick. I didn't want my fans to be, what a dick.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
So, did you cover the price of the flight with the 2 shows or not even?
No,
No, bro, he spends way more than he makes.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's financially
Yeah.
retarded. This is
No, he's living his
made-
best life. He makes it, but
Which is
he's
being
not stingy. He
financially
gives.
retarded.
Yeah.
When I bought those houses for the homeless people, when I finished paying them, I had $6,000 left,
Yeah.
which is insane.
Wait, and
Yeah.
did you have any investments? Did you have?
I have houses, and now I had 25 houses with homeless people.
So you're a slumlord. This
No,
is
but
Yeah, a real one,
No,
yeah.
the only investments they're not. I own houses, but
so real estate, no stock
Re-
market,
real estate,
nothing that you can pull out quick.
I have stocks, but not like they're all like in RRSPs.
Okay, so you can't pull
So
them
I
out
can't
anyways.
pull anything out. So, but at 7,000, I was like 7,000. I'm good for at least a month and a half. Plus, I got my credit cards. So I'm.
I love how you can sell out the Bell Center and not even 8 months prior to
Yeah.
that. You're like, you know what? If we cut back on food, my wife and I maybe
We
we'll
can
be
make
able-
it.
We can
Did-
make it.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the video with it's an episode of Louis from the where Louis C.K. is trying to buy a house.
No, I've
And he's with his accountant. He's like, "Look, I've had a good month." And when I saw it, I was like, "That's exactly me." He's like, "I've had a good month making money, and I'm doing this show. Bought a house. It's a bit." He goes, "How much?" It's a bit. It's 18 million. And he goes, "Okay, 18 million. All right, okay." And then he calculates. He goes, "That your mortgage is going to be $80,000 a month." And he goes, "I know but it's worth more than that, and it's nice." And he goes, "How much you have in your checking account?" And he goes, "I have 8." So he had 8,000. So he was like, "Okay, yes. So this month, all you need is 72,000 more to cover 1 month's rent."
That's fucking.
And
I know
that's how I've
I know
always
that's how
felt.
you see life. Is
Yeah.
that like how? But you don't even see it on your personal expense. I see Pantelis how he acts around us. First of all, it's like. I need to work harder to be able to make sure that Emile and Poseidon don't need a day job or whatever
Goddamn
it is.
right.
So you really see, is this how you still see life? It's like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
need this much to be able to make it through next month.
I had a friend tell me once, and I've always lived and you can't live your way like that for everything. But he was like, if life costs you 80,000 a month, you're gonna find a way to make 80,000 a month. And I've never lived a life that I needed 80,000 a month, but if I know that I need 80,000,
He'll find a way.
I'll find a way to make it.
There will be a couple of extra podcasts a week.
Yeah, no, but I've always been like, I've been so lucky. I know how to make money. Like, I'm good at making money. I'm horrible at keeping money.
Yeah, very bad.
Like, I'm gonna for
Creating
real,
money, though.
I can create wealth, but I have no idea. Like, I'm
From where and how?
Yeah.
It's just
I'm a second string NBA player. Like, money's coming in, but I don't know where it's going.
never thought
Yeah.
about buying like a franchise like a Tim Hortons or like putting it's really real estate and that's the only method of savings.
No, but the only reason why I bought real estate is because I used to be the type of person, as soon as I had money in my bank account, at first it was as soon as I had 10,000 in my bank account, I was like, I gotta buy something. fucking a used Mercedes is only.
Yeah, what's your biggest stunt? I know you rock a Rolex if I'm not wrong.
I got
But
this
that was
as
a
a
gift.
present though.
Yeah.
As
It
a
was
present?
gift, yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah.
even a purchase.
It was a
okay.
gift from my Rolex dealer because I bought.
I know this Jewish guy down the street.
No, it was Michelle bought me this a bunch
So
of
your
people
manager is
pinched it.
balling too.
Yeah, but it was because at first it was my wife's idea. She was like, Mike's always like Rolexes, and but I'd never had one. So when I was 40, they were like, we'll ask all his friends to pitch in to give $100 and we'll buy the watch. And only like 3 people pitched in. So Michelle was like, I gotta buy a fucking watch. So he bought me a fucking
$8,000 watch
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. This is fucking.
God
Okay.
damn, that's
What's
Yeah.
your biggest splurge?
Biggest splurge is I guess just houses.
Okay, house, but
Yeah.
a house is an investment. Stupid, like let's say a watch, a car.
I'm
something
nothing.
He
devalued.
paid him $3,000 to shit his pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was true.
Well,
That's,
yeah, no, I've never. The only big.
that's a business expense, though.
That is true. Yeah.
The only they're just houses. Yeah.
Just houses, okay.
Yeah, just houses.
Okay.
I bought Bitcoin, which was fucking stupid.
For now.
Yeah. It'll eventually.
Are
come
you still
back.
into crypto?
No, I was never into crypto. I bought $200 worth of crypto. I bought
like
uranium.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
some fucking Eastern European fucking type of bullshit right here.
Yeah.
Yo,
Everybody's talking about crypto. It's just, but I was looking at uranium, just like fucking
He's
uranium's
a
gonna blow up.
cartoon villain.
Exactly.
I'm calling the Libyans. Ahmed,
What are you
what's the
doing?
word, bro?
What are you
Fuck, I was thinking about what you said about people crawling out of shows, like the goblins, how you can't control your fans and stuff.
doing?
When we were on the tour, I noticed that, like with Mike, depending on where we are, the demographic is so different, so vast. If you would ask even you to guess who would come out, I don't think you'd be
It's
correct.
so varied.
It's so fucking varied.
I
Yeah.
have that's the thing I really like. Like I have a lot of gay people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
Remember the shows when it was a gay couple, it was old people, it was Native American gambling.
Yeah.
I'm a gay icon. I'm a black
Yeah.
icon. I'm an icon of all these communities.
I'm always happy whenever I
don't know how they all listen to me.
Whenever I see gay guys in the, and this is new. I never used to do this, and it's only been new 5 years. But I used to, like, if I talked to two dudes, I was always like, "You guys friends?" And now I ask them if they're a couple.
Yeah.
That I never used to do.
Yeah,
I'd
I
be
have
like,
time to-
is this your brother? No. Is your friend? No. Yeah,
bang?
you're sitting together. So you must be your brother, your friend. And then if they're like, we're a gay couple, I'd be like, oh, this is fucking awkward.
It's not awkward.
You want to
Have
be a
you-
gay triple?
Have you tried to be a bit more inclusive in your material in the sense that it's not even inclusive to how can you say it, to amend anything? It's just sometimes I talk to people, let's say I'm doing crowd work or I'm talking about relationships or whatever, just to make everybody feel a part of it, even if the joke that I'm about to say is offensive or not. I don't have a tendency of saying people that have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever it is, even if I'm doing crowd work, I assume that there's a possibility that they might be a couple. It's like I feel like it's
So
a
you say like partner?
Oh no, I can't
partner,
do that.
no,
Whenever
whatever
I
it is.
say partner, like I always feel
Well, you're in
like
business.
it's I have trouble saying partner or lover.
No, even
Lover,
no,
that's what I said.
My
Lover bothers
lover.
me.
No, not even partner.
My
Literally, I'll ask
lover
him, is this your-
feels like my fingers will smell like ass.
Yeah, yeah. And someone told me that. I told you who it was.
Yeah.
She recently told me, she's
My
like, I
lover.
can't come in because I'm with my lover. I was like, ooh.
No, like I won't ask them to.
dirty.
Is this your partner? I'll tell them. Is this your boyfriend? But in the sense of 6 years ago,
Yeah.
I
I
would
had
just
a-
assume everybody was heterosexual.
Like-
and
like
it-
I had-
there was no inclusion. Or
I've been lucky for that because like in the 90s, I had a bit about watching gay porn.
Yeah.
yeah,
Which was very, not 90s, early 2000s.
Very
I remember that,
risque.
Very, like, for real, I'd start the bit and I'd have dudes going, this fucking fag. This fucking guy.
This faggot.
This fucking guy, he pretends he's talking about his wife and fucking chicks, but he's
He lured me into
look
this
how
gay
happy
joke.
how happy he is. But then, so yeah, I've been lucky. I've always been lucky for that.
because I've just started to,
Always, not always.
and but it's I'm saying inclusive. It's not again to be able to be like a more of a snowflake environment in my material. It's literally to make people feel more a part of the joke because
The
some
thing-
people
I
don't.
added more gay jokes recently for inclusion.
The thing that kind of fucked me is since people saw me as vulgar, like black people used to think since I'm dirty, they were like, he's dirty and he's probably rachist. Or Arabs
that's
were,
fucking stupid.
And then
That's a Justin Trudeau type of.
Yeah.
What
Justin
really
Trudeau.
helped me was Rashid. I used to, whenever I did my shows, I never had any Arabs in the room at all. And then I did a gala
Safer shows.
that Rashid was hosting. And then that fucking, that opened the doors of, like, I don't have a lot of Arab people, but I have, like, enough that,
Yeah.
you know, it's not like if there's an Arab dude that comes to see me, it's not like, what is he doing? Like,
Yeah, it's not the Lebanese moms that are there.
Yeah.
Like, oh my, it's just not. And even you remember Alex Douville?
Yeah.
He's a dirty comic. He's a rock and roll. I would say a rock and roll comic. Like did you ever meet Alex Douville?
We met once, yeah.
Okay. Whatever happened. Anyways, this guy had very harsh
Probably
material.
nothing happened because he's a dude.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so.
Anyways, this guy used to have a bunch of Arabs show up to the
Yeah.
shows, which is, I feel like the shows we opened for you once in Saint Jean, and we had you on a show. I had you on 2 shows, and a lot of Arabs were like, "Oh fuck, you were able to get Mike Ward." I still feel you're able to. There's still a pulse.
You
from,
can penetrate
from,
certain
I
markets.
did-
From you can
There's
definitely penetrate them.
There's a documentary about black comedy
Oh, yeah.
in Quebec and French Canada, and they mentioned me twice in the documentary.
Two different comics.
Two different comics, and I was like, I'm a fucking black icon.
Yeah.
I'm an ethnic comic. This is what I am.
Yeah, but I don't like, my crowd isn't ethnic, but compared to most white guys my age, it's very ethnic.
100%. That's what I'm saying. It's like
very ethnic, but ethnic in most Quebec towns.
there's no Moroccan music at the entrance.
90, yeah, it's not like no one's fucking eating couscous.
All right, can't wait with their kids. It's not a family outing.
Yogurt. Yeah, I look white. I'm Greek. I only want black people at my shows.
100%.
I'm very.
Black
he
people are
always
the
does
best
the
audience.
same joke but the fucking it makes me laugh. He's always pointing to the preacher and going, us fucking black guys. He's always us black guys.
If you look at Pantelis, you can either decide he's the most racist people. When you look at someone, when we say the line, you're still on the line. It's like you're either the most open-minded or the most closed-minded person I've ever seen in my life.
You don't know me. Yeah.
There's no in between.
No, but you have to know me. If you don't know me, you could go either way. You won't know.
Yeah.
And that's what fucking helps him. Because he's on the other side of the line, but it looks like they're like, he can't be racist if he's
Oh, that's
How do you guys think I've been getting away with it, motherfucker?
That's so true. Because he's legitimately, he is a well-known racist, but people
He's a
don't know it
well-known-
because they
he's-
see him with me like, oh, bro, no, he just makes edgy jokes because he's so open-minded like Pantelis.
So open-minded. I saw someone though at his
God
show.
damn you guys.
There was two girls, I would assume around 25, 27 years old when we were in Gatineau. I think there was one French girl, which I assume
my
she's
show?
she's a student from Université de Ottawa or whatever. And there was someone else with them. I think Arabs. And at the beginning of the show, every joke that Pantelis would go into, they'd be like,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, those are the two girls.
and then he kept first 10 minutes is like almost, and then they start laughing slowly, and then 20 minutes in they start fucking cracking up, and then at some point you just go like, if you're easily offended, this is not a show for you.
that's
They're
what he
like,
said.
Okay, this is why we're offended. Okay, we're gonna start having fun from now on.
Yeah,
And
but I
feel
just
that's a
kept
good-
leading into it.
Yeah.
Kept leading into it, and I loved seeing these people. And every time I knew which jokes were coming up, and I'm like, they're not gonna like this one, and then they would laugh, and I'm like, okay, fuck, you got them.
Yeah,
You got
sometimes I win people over because our type of humor, you think some people, if they're closed,
You gotta go all in.
yeah, you're never going to win them. But because I assume who I am, I know that these are, I'm just fucking around. The whole point is this is my humor. This is how I
But to
laugh.
be honest, it's easier for you to win people with your French accent than with your English accent.
Why is that? Explain this.
Because the accent makes it seem a bit more vulnerable. It's like,
And I think English Canada is way, 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 way more woke
I feel that.
100%.
I
than
feel that.
French Quebec.
100%, but the accent will make you feel sort of cuter in a sense. It's like
Yeah, goofy.
You're less aggressive for a woman
Yeah.
watching this when you're going with, say, fucking, if you have a rape joke, it's easier slid.
Those weren't jokes.
See, in English, it's creepy. My asshole sort of clenched right now. But like, if it was in French, it's like,
C'est pas des jokes, ça.
Exactly. See, it's the high tone. It's like the higher. It's like, c'est un petit peu plus aigu. It's like when you hear, c'est pas des jokes. It's like, it's cuter. You know, you can say anything you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have a better sense of humor, the French.
I think though that that's changed. I remember like 10 years ago in English you could do anything. Like you could go on stage like before 2010, 2012, you could do anything on stage. Like you'd go see the old Nasty shows and they went fucking hard. They went balls deep. And in French, people took everything kind of seriously and literally. And then the English side became like super, super sensitive. And the French side kind of stayed the same. So they get offended easily, but not as easily as the Canadian
Do they get
side.
offended easily?
Well,
Some crowds, it depends.
Seriously?
Like tonight, I had that a bit with them, and so did he when we went down to do sets. But it wasn't. They weren't offended. Like I'm gonna leave a bad review. They were just like, I can't believe he's going there.
it's not. And I think now they don't get offended as easily because people are smarter about the comedy they consume.
Yeah.
Like in the old days, people would come see a show and they were like, "I like comedy," and then they'd be like, "What this is?" But that's like
What is
saying
this? My eyes.
That's,
Yeah,
like saying,
yeah.
that's like saying I like music, but what you like is fucking Slayer and Metallica.
You're not
and
gonna
I
like,
bring you to see
R.
fucking
Kelly.
Yeah, and you'll be like, why is this pedophile?
Why
Why is he fingering my daughter?
She's 14. You monster.
No, but yeah.
I've never understood that though with comedy, and this is why I respect
like
people.
comedy.
This
Fuck
is
you. That's stupid.
This is why I respect people that buy tickets to come. Like I do des shows de rodage where you go test out material, like lab nights, and you're like, this place is fucking jam packed. There's like 80 people, 100 people that came. And they have no idea who is going to perform.
Yeah.
And on top of that, chances are nobody famous is coming. And these people got a babysitter, fucking worked this whole. It's a Tuesday night, and these shows are jam packed. And you're like, fuck props. I would never do this. I would never. I would stay home, watch a movie with my wife, and then just fucking.
They
go to
love
bed.
stand-up, yeah.
The way I used to always see though, people that go, I love comedy, like I love all comedy. You can't judge what they think is funny. It's like asking a fat guy if the dessert is good.
Yeah.
Like a fat guy, everything's delicious. Why is it?
Why are y'all looking at me
Yeah,
like that?
why?
We wanted you to give a reply.
Like you ask
on
someone,
behalf of fat guy.
like you ask someone like him that was big and now is little. Is this like if you see him eating a dessert, you'll be like, that's got to be fucking tasty. That he's fucking he hasn't eaten a
sacrificing
carb
his
in
looks.
7 years.
Yeah.
He's that's gonna hurt his fucking.
But him eating
Him.
a pumpkin pie.
doesn't
and you're
mean
like,
yeah.
It's
Wha-
meaningless.
You're
But
like- yeah.
that's what we get a lot of these nights. Like, let's say tonight, they didn't know what they were getting. You don't know who's going to be in the lineup. So that's why you get some people that are like, oh, that's offensive. What I still don't I like, and we're going to touch on it more with another project that we have. I don't like the fact that people are so stupid. They're really dumb. They call themselves lovers of art, lovers of comedy. They go out and they judge it differently than they judge any other art form. Because if he's on stage or I'm on stage, I'll make fun of a priest. I'll make fun of a pedophile. I'll make fun of myself. I'll make fun of him, black, white. I'll make fun of everybody, right? Let's say I make fun of pedophiles. That's, for some people, it's gonna be like, he mentioned pedophiles even though he made fun of
Yeah.
them. That's offensive. But if Kevin Bacon plays the role of one and pretends to bang a kid, that's cool because it's in a movie.
Yeah.
So his art form makes sense to them, but ours, which is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
You have to be
Yeah.
so stupid.
Yeah.
That's like saying, oh no, the song about dropping the N-word and murdering people. That's fine, bro. But if you say a joke about fucking murdering people, oh, that's too much. That's
That's true. The art form, also the way that we deliver this art form, understandably speaking, like
see-
you can be in a crowd and be like, oh yeah, maybe this is Mike Ward's true thoughts, but go fuck
That's
yourself.
why.
not
That's
the
why
case.
too. I think French crowds are so good now, is compared to like. And when we talk about English crowds, when I speak badly about English crowds, I'm talking about English Canadian. Because
Yeah.
American crowds, you go to New York, they're good crowds.
Oh,
But-
governors, we got away with everything.
Yeah, but English Canada, that like you see Toronto comics are like, we gotta fight to be recognized as an art form. But in French Quebec, everyone knows that this is an art form.
Yeah.
It's not as respected as other art forms, but at least they go, okay, that is art. It's just
Yeah.
it's not
As
as
an art form,
important.
But as a business, comics are pretty much the only art
English?
form that is able to capitalize and make that much money. I
In
think
French,
French
you
in
don't
Quebec.
think that sculptors are making 170,000 a
A night?
day? What?
Well, wait, with government grants, maybe some of them are, but it's
But in English Canada, that's a great point. In French Canada, there's an award show every year just for stand-up. There's a podcast award.
Yeah.
Just for, it's so big, right? Stand-up. In English Canada, they got a union together to try to go to Parliament and be like, this is a real art form. They had to prove that they're a real art
Yeah.
form. When Canada has produced some of the best stand-ups, Norm Macdonald, Jim K. It's so crazy.
what's the problem?
I don't know. I culturally, they're different.
I think the problem is the comedy fans. The English Canadian comedy fans, the reason why they're shitty fans is they fucking love Norm Macdonald, or they love Norm Macdonald. They Jim Carrey. They love anyone that makes it outside of Canada.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, he's Canadian. He's one of us. But you didn't support him when he was fucking living
Yeah.
in Quebec,
Well, that's fucking
in
true.
Toronto. Whereas
Yeah.
in Quebec, we fucking support. And the thing that sucks about Quebec, in English Canada, you only become important if you make it somewhere else. In Quebec, you become a piece of garbage
If you make it somewhere else, that's true.
You're like,
The
you
second-
fucking sell out, you fucking asshole.
Hollywood,
Why
huh?
did you leave? You
Yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah.
true. That what
we
Quebec,
hate everyone that has success outside of Quebec.
which is the other way with rap.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
people in Montreal that are very good lyricists, very good musicians, rappers, and they don't even bat an eye when it comes to them. But the second your music is played in France, let's say on your French side, or outside of Montreal or outside of Quebec on the English side, that's when they support you. But fucking comedy in Quebec, they don't want you to leave. The second you leave, you become a fucking traitor.
But they support.
That's
like,
crazy. That's a good thing, though.
I'm a very good example because as soon as I started doing it in French because of Mike, they showed me like retarded support, and they were like, "Oh fuck, he's our guy. He's from here. Yeah, he has an accent. Whatever. He's from here. He's doing with Mike. This is our guy." So they came all like behind me, even though right before that in English it was a struggle to try to get people to support, and you know what I mean. It was.
But the
I have the
English-
hardcores from day one, obviously, but it's not everyone. But it's a different culture. In French, they're like, He's from here, bro. This is our guy.
There are some
Haters. There's gonna be haters.
good English Canadian crowds, but they're not as supportive generally.
Yeah.
Have you toured Canada?
Not really.
No.
Not really.
Is it in the plans or you don't?
No, because I'd rather just play the States.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
because whenever I go, I'm like, oh yeah, this is like Quebec, but not as fun.
It's pretty. I mean, I've seen you perform in Ottawa. I went to the Yucks once. You were headlining there.
I consider Ottawa Quebec.
I feel like Ottawa is.
It is
Ottawa
Quebec.
It's
It's
2
the
hours
same
away.
thing.
It's fucking.
Toronto is Norway
yeah,
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is there any Ontario comics like there are Quebec comics? Like
do you
Ontario
mean?
comics?
There's
like
what's
Ballers,
his name? The
Mike Ward
fat
level.
guy. The fat guy. That,
Angelo Taruchas?
No. He's a Montreal guy. The K. Trevor Wilson.
Oh, K.
Oh,
Trev is
yeah,
big.
He's big.
But he's big in the States too.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, but he's not. Like I don't like he can sell out rooms, but he can't sell out. I don't think theaters.
But I'm saying, is there someone in Ontario, a comic that is making a very
Yes.
good living only in Ontario, selling out theaters in Ontario?
You know where they have that though? The Maritimes.
Oh
The
yeah, that's true.
Maritimes have like fucking guys that are
Stars for the Maritimes.
Yeah, just huge stars.
Oh yeah, like James Mullinger.
Yeah, James Mullinger is fucking massive in
sells out
New
fucking
Brunswick.
arenas in New
He's
Brunswick.
selling
That's what
out
I'm saying,
New Brunswick arenas.
That's a good culture.
There's another guy, I forget his name, that he's a piece of garbage, but he sells out every fucking province in the Maritimes. I forget his name, but I have a story to I should know his name before. Ron Wood.
Okay.
Is that his name? Ron Wood.
Ron Wood.
There was Google. He's a little piece of garbage. He looks like a leprechaun. But
I hope it's the wrong guy that he's talking about.
Yeah, because I remember.
Oh my God.
I remember someone. No. Ron Wood. Ron Wood is the guy from the Rolling Stones.
No.
That's maybe, and it's not Ron White. That's
It's not Rory Wood.
No, I like Ron
Anyways.
But anyway, this Ron guy from fucking the Maritimes. There was this couple that they loved comedy, and they're from Prince Edward Island, and they were like, we don't have a festival in the Maritimes. This was before Hubcap and all that, and Halifax. They were like, let's do a festival in the Maritimes, Prince Edward Island. So they booked every Canadian comedian that they loved. So they booked like 20 or 30 comics and this was a dude that drove trucks, and the chick taught in a school. So they took their fucking life savings to book a bunch of fucking unknown Canadian comics. So we all go there, and then they're trying to sell tickets. And it's going okay. And this fucking Ron whatever guy, he's famous there. He decided to tour every city that had shows for the festival
What
on
a
the same
fucking
night.
piece of garbage.
Yeah, so then people would be like, should I go see
People I don't know?
At the time Derek Segay no one knew, or should I go see Mike Ward that I have no clue who Mike Ward is, or that fucking Ron guy that I saw on Just for Laughs, I'll go see him. So and I was like, what a piece of shit.
What a fucking piece of garbage.
What a piece of garbage. Google Ron
Hansen?
Ron comedian
Maritimes.
Maritimes.
I wrote New Brunswick. Hold on. Maritimes.
Yeah.
How do you write Maritimes? M-A-R-I... Oh, I found it.
Maritimes Roman. Times New Roman. Maritimes New Roman.
Ron James.
Ron James, that's him. Can you
Let me see.
Can you put him up?
Yeah, hold up.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, from what you just said.
fucking
Yeah.
Did you
hate
meet
that
him?
guy. I never met
This
him.
guy.
What a piece.
Oh,
of
I know
garbage.
that face.
He looks like a leprechaun. though.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
guy. Oh, he did. He's the one who pulled that.
Yeah, and he is fucking huge. Like like when they told me that, I was like, who cares? He's some fucking shitty like CBC comic.
Yeah, he's a CBC comic. Yeah.
But he's like. Yeah, what a piece
Oh,
of
this
garbage.
old dude. Okay.
This
That must be
piece of-
crazy to be ginormous in such a small province, though.
Yeah.
He is leprechaun.
Well, he's
If
giant.
you're able to make corporate gigs, I assume this is the problem with the Montreal scene, though, is that especially in English, there is
Well, now we're
So-
starting the night here, and they're going to be getting paid
Yes,
in English.
exactly.
And
This
they're
is
gonna-
And like older, like Bowser and Blue used to be kind of big in English Quebec.
okay.
Bowser and Blue were these two political satirists that did songs.
With the banjo and
Yeah. I opened for them. I never bombed so hard in my fucking life.
Opening for Bowser and Blue.
Bowser and Blue in Quebec City in 1993 or 4. I didn't even do comedy in French yet. So it was 93. I was opening for them and Lorne Elliott. And I fucking bombed so hard in
How big
front
was
of
the
my
crowd?
dad. It was a big crowd. And
Oh, yeah, you've mentioned the story. I think you said,
they had booked me, and since it was Quebec City, I was like, I'm from Quebec City. They're gonna be like so proud of the local boy that made it, because I'd made it because I'd been to the works 6 times, and then I ate a fucking huge bag of dicks, and it sucked. And I went
It's an older
backstage.
crowd, no? It's like
they were super old, and I was like, they're fucking horrible. And then Lorne Elliott got a standing ovation. Then I came back and they were fucking yelling. And some older guys asked my dad to help them go on stage, to force me on stage.
That's
Since
fucking hilarious.
my dad was 68, and he was the second youngest dude in the room after me.
That's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
Like, hey, young man,
Yeah.
can you get that asshole off
Get
stage?
rid of that fucking.
So Bowser and Blue are like comedy legends in English Quebec?
Yeah, in like West Island, their son one time, it was fucking crazy. Their son one time came up to me because he at the Comedy Works, and he was like, "Yeah, my dad and his whatever, like Bowser and Blue, I don't know what their names are." He goes, "Yeah, they were supposed to do a corporate gig, and they can't do it. And then we tried to book Sugar Sammy, he can't do it. Would you do it?" And I was like, "It's not the same crowd." And I don't know what the budget is, because I was like fucking like West Island Comics. He was like, "No, it's the budget is 28,000." I was like, "What?" Bowser and Blue is making 28,000 doing a corporate gig
fuck?
in the West Island. But there's a weird like West Island star system that they have like
That's a very
insane money.
niche star set.
But
I
if
assume
you're
it's corporate
making
gigs.
if you're making
they hate me.
28,000
That's
a
14
show,
G's each.
if you do 2 shows a year, you're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got a little house in Dorval that fucking
Pay it off
you
for
buy,
the
and
60s.
you're old man, yeah, you paid 7,000 for in 1961, and someone's giving you 14,000 to do songs about the fucking about la CAQ.
Some hillbillies, yeah.
That's where do you see yourself retiring? Are you ever, or are you be Don Rickles balls out fucking?
I'm gonna be like winters
Blazing.
in Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, winters in Florida, and I'm never gonna retire for real.
Okay.
But I'll be like I'm not gonna do cold weather in the winter all my life.
So are you working on another French hour, or it's?
I
not in
don't.
the plans?
I don't even know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, my tour's done now, and I just want to be in Florida.
That's fucking.
Yeah.
I guess you're at that point where you can. First of all, you can afford to be just like fuck it.
Well, you work hard, yeah.
Are you semi-retired?
Uh
Like, would you be good? Let's say you stop tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I could stop tomorrow.
You could stop
Yeah.
tomorrow. At what age do you think you're gonna be able to stop?
Me?
Yeah.
I gotta start making money.
Let's start before we stop.
Well, I want to retire in 10 years so I could just hang out with him by the beach.
Just kick it another condo in Orlando.
Yeah.
So are you a snowbird or not yet? Has it
No,
been-
I've never done it yet, but this winter, that's my plan. Like next week, I'm driving down my car to Florida to leave it there for the winter. So then when I fly back here, I bring it to the airport. So I'm like, I gotta go back. I'm
I
fucking
need to park my car.
spending fucking $47 a day for fucking
It's
parking.
gonna cost you $7,000 in parking.
Yeah. No, but I found a parking at the airport that it's only $10 a day.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the plan is doing like 6 months in Florida, 6 months in Montreal.
No, it's like 2 weeks Florida, 3 days here, 2 weeks
Yeah.
Florida, 3 days here.
So you're not even
Comes
gonna
back,
do-
records podcast, and then
Yeah.
goes.
That's
Yeah.
fucking insane, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Is-
People are gonna hate me because they're gonna be like, look at this fucking asshole. He's vegan. He
He's
drives an
polluting.
electric car, and he's always in a jet.
Every fucking 14 days in a jet.
Yeah.
do you have like an ecosystem there? Like you have friends, family in Florida, or you just go
I've
fucking
nothing.
balls, nothing, just by yourself?
Yeah,
And
I've
that's fucking amazing, though.
yeah. Netflix. Gets,
Netflix, the hot weather, and
the thing I really like about Florida, and this is a very old man thing. I go to this a resort near my resort that has a lazy river. I don't know if you know what that is.
Yeah, I do know
That it's like a little, and I stole 4 of their
Towels?
their towels to make it look like I'm one of the residents. So I'll go in with my stolen towel, and then I go in their lazy river, and I fucking float around,
just float around for the whole day.
float
And then you
around
go back
for the
home.
whole day, and then I go back home.
So that's a day to day your life in Florida.
No, right now, since I hadn't been in 2 years, and I only went like twice.
Okay.
So I've just been like renovating because the place fucking fell apart.
Okay.
Yeah, the last couple of years.
I don't have a Florida type of guy. Why did you end up in Florida? It's just it was
Because
Hot weather is close.
I went there once and I was like, Florida's the worst. Because if you've never been to Florida, Florida sounds like the worst place in the world. It sounds like Boulevard Tachereau.
Well, I'm
Like
going to
it's-
Florida in November.
Okay.
My wife is crazy about Disney World and Disneyland and that
Well,
stuff.
what day do you go?
We're going November 15th to the 18th.
Fuck.
Are you there?
15th to the 18th? I'm not there. Did you book your hotel yet?
Yeah, we booked it.
Ah, fuck. I would have given you my condo.
Ah, fuck.
And it's Orlando. It's right by the Disney
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm in Orlando. I'm like 10
You're by
minutes. I'm 10 minutes away from Disney World.
Fuck. It's all good. I booked them on points. I don't know if I can cancel and fucking. I've been working these credit card points for fucking 5 years now just to be able to tell my wife, I'm bringing you to Disney. And
I got
it's,
this. I've never been to any of the
I got
Disney.
this. I'm a fucking. I feel like Disney people that are obsessed with Disney World have deep mental issues.
And so you married
And
them.
I married one, and I'm like, you know what? I really think in the sense of like, let me try it first, and then I'll figure out if I'm judgmental about it or not.
Well, if
She's
you have
scared
kids,
to go
it
with
seems
me.
like it would be fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
come
we're
back
due,
on the 11th. If you want to use my car, though, it's at the airport.
It's at the airport.
You can, though.
Seriously?
Your wife would freak out.
She would freak out. I
If
won't
you
tell her
go,
anything.
I'll give
just
you the key. I'll
Yeah,
tell
you
you where it is.
I like this. I like this, bro.
Okay, that's fucking amazing.
Living
Okay,
it,
I'll
and then
text
she's
you.
like, "What are you doing?" You're like, don't ask questions.
I'll just walk into a Tesla. I drive a fucking beat down Honda
No,
Civic
it's
here.
not a Tesla, but it's a BMW convertible.
I'm sorry, I only drive
Yeah.
Tesla. This is not.
You fucking play games, Mike.
You know,
It'd be
you know,
fucking
what's-
hilarious. Just don't worry about it. Beep, beep.
you look like Florida, by the way.
Me?
Yeah.
You
With
look
that
like
shirt,
Florida.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're Florida.
The
today.
glasses,
glasses,
the
like I
Dahmer
picture you.
You look
Yeah.
like a retired mobster.
Yeah, exactly. In Florida, chest out, chains.
I do have a bit of chest hair.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the chains, maybe like a button
With a silk Hawaiian
silk
dress
Hawaiian
shirt
dress
in a fucking flamingo
I
pink.
just
like
got
yours.
a-
Living
accustomed to-
vicariously through you.
Yeah, 100%. I might start cocaine when I get to Florida.
God.
Yeah,
damn.
you look exactly like what he thinks he looks like. You're like, he saw you with that shirt and he was like, that'll look good on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said exactly.
Emile, how attached are you to that shirt?
You wear medium.
I got 2 questions for you. Do you know a place where they'd sell me 3 of those? And do you know anyone that's good at sewing?
I have a couple immigrants in my basement. that
Oh,
can
he
sew
knows.
you.
He knows. He got a custom fur coat done.
Actually, you guys are in the fucking textile district. Someone
Yeah,
could
that's what
fucking
studios at the other one.
sew
yeah.
him some curtains and be able to wear them.
Bro, I know a lady. She could make you like a $5,000 coat for like $1,000.
All you need is to get the 1,000.
Yeah. No, not even.
That's cool.
I can hook it up heavy.
She can make you a $5,000 coat. And can you sell that coat for $5,000?
To her?
Because you could
no,
just
you
go
can-
on Marketplace then and
No,
go
no. So I'll give you an
$5,000
example.
coat,
So, like-
$2,000.
So like
yeah.
you know my leather jacket that I have?
Yeah.
With a blue fur collar? That was from the Weeknd's music video. What was it called? Starboy. And I really liked the jacket. I'm like, I want a jacket like that.
Yeah.
And I Googled it and it
I
was
think you wanted the man inside the jacket.
Hey. And it was 2,500
I think you
euros.
wanted to be inside the man.
Yeah.
With the
inside the
jacket.
jacket. I want to be inside the man, inside the jacket, inside. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I Googled it and it was 2,500 euros. I was like, this is absurd. I'm never gonna pay this amount of money.
What did you Google?
What can I get for 2,500 euros?
Yeah.
No, the Weekend jacket, Starboy. I think that's what I Googled.
Okay, which is like the basic type of leather with like the type
Yeah,
of
leather.
Russian leather jacket.
Yeah, like a bomber jacket.
Okay.
I'll show you. I have a picture. You'll see it. And
Show us everyone.
And I was like, no, I don't. And I was like, yo, I fucking like this jacket. I fucking want it.
And at the time, you were living at your mom's house,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
I
Okay,
was,
yeah.
yes.
So no apartment, and no apartment.
The man had his life in order.
Yeah.
No, I was working a
All
job.
about
I was making money.
choices.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But normally, like an adult would be like, I'm taking this money and I'm moving out.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm buying a jacket, mom, stay out of my room.
Yeah.
No, but I was paying rent anyways.
How old were you?
37.
26.
So it was like 2 years ago.
No. Hold on. I was
It was
younger.
last
Oh my
year,
god.
actually.
25, I think.
That's
4 years ago.
months.
4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Perfect. So you ordered that jacket from that lady?
Yeah, I went and I'm like, I want this, and she made it.
Okay.
I don't know what the
A
story
fraction of the price.
But it's worth what you paid for it. Because if you tried to sell it,
Well, no,
you
because it's
get-
not the same name brand.
It's like going, okay,
No,
this
no, no.
Rolex, I know a guy, he can make me the same thing. It's fucking
no, but it's not the
yeah,
same
like a
name
knockoff,
brand.
yeah.
$10,000 watch, he fucking sells it
But
for
hold on.
20.
With watches, it's a different story. This is just, it's leather.
But
you know.
answer his question. So,
Yeah.
can you sell that
How
for
much?
$5,000?
How much would
do
you
sell
get for it if you sold it on?
But the reason why I
Marketplace?
made it was I'm keeping it for life.
That's not what
No,
he's
but
asking.
how much is it?
I don't know, I've
for-
never checked.
Okay,
Yeah, that
how
was-
much
never
do you
checked.
think?
Wait, I just need to
1,000?
point something out.
Yeah.
When you guys are roasting him and he's on the console, like he still needs to do the.
Finally,
He needs
somebody
to do the frame
noticed.
changes for someone to
Finally,
stare. Like he's
somebody
like, I'm getting
noticed.
destroyed right now, but I need to have a camera on my face. And then he
Finally,
just,
somebody. I've been waiting.
he's fucking just like, you're like, yeah, they're calling me a piece of shit. And he's just like, yeah, perfect.
You're like, I'm a piece of garbage. Okay, go to me. Cut to me. That's how I'm taking it. Cut to him. He's making fun of me. Yeah, go back to me. All right. Well, look, Emile, if there are people watching this and they are bilingual, you have a very good podcast with your friend and my friend Jacob Ospian, other comedian, called Sans Commentaire, No Comments, I guess, without comment.
Exactly.
Very good podcast. You guys have come on my
Very
show
funny.
a lot. You've both done his show as well. If you're not bilingual, then you have to catch Emile with one of us. He's going to be at the English Nights here. If I'm doing English comedy, I'm always bringing him on board. So you will find Emile. Follow him online. Links are in the description. Jason, don't forget to put the links in the description. Poseidon is the Poseidon69 online. I am Poseidon is his link tree.
If
Mike
you're
Ward.
looking for a shitty coat and you have $7,000,
yeah, $7,000. You need a $10,000 code. Reach out to Poseidon. If you need to start your own podcast, send an email to bookingpodcaststudio@gmail.com. Our podcast studio has another studio. It's called the Mike Ward Theater of Dreams. Poseidon will probably produce your podcast. MikeWard.ca is the website for Mike. He's got the #1 French language comedy podcast on the planet called Mike Ward Sous-Écoute. Go to Patreon, patreon.com/Sous-Écoute. You get the entire back catalog. You get to watch Sous-Écoute live. And when there's tickets for the shows, they go up there first. So check that out. Come check the English shows here at the Bordel. Links are in my description. Links are on my website. Links are on the link tree, any website you want. And most importantly, go fuck yourselves.